it's been since I've been reporting this. We also have issues with bus stops. I work in Ybor City on Friday and Saturday nights, and I get off the bus at 19th and 4th, and the passage northbound from 4th to 7th Avenue is obstructed so that I have to go out in the street in order to get around it. On my way back, I catch the bus at 4th Avenue and 15th Street. There is no landing pad there. A person who uses a wheelchair would not be able to use that stop. 2 Fridays ago, and it isn't really, there is no defined curb. 2 Fridays ago, I was standing waiting for the bus, and a police officer stopped and told me I needed to get out of the road. There should be no excuse for that. It seems as if accessibility is an afterthought. 2 Mondays ago, I was on the bus with my guide dog, and someone got on the bus with their, quote, service dog, which proceeded to assault my dog. And the driver did not intervene, to the best of my knowledge. I've asked for the video. I've asked for it a few times. I haven't yet received it. I'm promised I will receive it, but I want to see that video. And I want to know what the driver did in order to intervene in that situation. So my time is up, but I think that the committee really needs to pay attention to accessibility issues and not just be an avenue through which HART says they're doing something, because it doesn't seem as if they're doing much at all. And finally, I'll just say I'm on the Rider Advisory Committee now. They've scheduled 3 meetings. They've canceled 3 meetings. They haven't yet had a meeting, so I'm concerned about that as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr.
your time.
Guzdala.
You think you get off on 4th and 19th? Is that the route 31?
No, that's the Route 8.
That's the route 8.
Yes.
And the 8 is the only way you can get home?
The 8's the only route that goes by my house, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna make sure that stop is accessible for you. I want to go by tomorrow and look at it.
Okay.
Because I live in Ybor, so I'm going to go by tomorrow, look at it myself.
Okay, check out the 4th Avenue and 15th stop as well,
And then
Arizona.
if it's not the way it is, I'll make a motion to get that taken care of.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Guzdala. Do we have any other speakers? Thank you. Next, we will have officer elections. As you know, sadly, Ms. Sandra Seidel stepped down from the board last meeting, and that left an opening for the board. And also, we had approved bylaws a couple of meetings ago establishing time limits for the executive officers. So at the same time, it was time already to elect a new chair and vice chair, and staff is going to proceed with that election. Next, we will have Danielle Jackson, HART Board Administrator, who will facilitate the election of officers.
Good afternoon, ADA Committee. So as Ms. Green said, you guys do have vacancies in your chair and vice chair positions, so we will take them one at a time, starting with the chair. So starting with the chair, we will open the floor for nominations. There is, committee member Razork has already self-nominated herself. Is there any other nominations for chair?
Question.
I'm sorry?
Are we allowed to run again? No.
You may run again if you would like. Right now we're doing chair.
I'll let it run again.
Okay. So So we have a nomination for committee member Wazorek and a nomination for committee member Jenkins. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, we will call each member by name and ask for you to please give your choice. Committee member Jenkins? You. Committee member Velasquez? Committee member Levy? Committee member LeBeau? Committee member Mills?
Mills,
Yes, ma'am.
I would be interested in the board.
Right now, we have nominations for the committee chair for either committee member Jenkins or committee member Wazorek. Did you want to nominate yourself as well?
If that, is there, the rules of, add for that, I would be, I have been involved in this, it's really a committee, not a board.
Agreed.
And I was involved in the beginning when we started convene. And I have been some gone, and I don't have all, but I know the history of HART. And I would be interested involved in put time.
In serving as the chair? You would like to serve as the chair?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll reopen up the nominations. So now we have nominations for committee member Wazorek, committee member Mills, and committee member Jenkins. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, we will go ahead and restart our count here. So committee member Jenkins? Okay. Committee member Velasquez? Okay. Committee member Levy? Committee member LeBeau? Committee member Mills? Would you like to vote for yourself or committee
I'll vote
member?
for myself.
Yes, ma'am. Committee member Pancho? Committee member Wazorek? And committee member Williams?
Jenkins.
So now the committee will have to make a motion to elect committee member Jenkins as your committee chair.
I motion to elect President Jenkins as committee chair.
Staff, will you please take a vote? It's a yea or nay vote, Yay.
Committee member Levy. Committee member LeBeau. Committee member Mills. Committee member Pancho. Oh, sorry.
Committee member Mills, how do you vote on the motion to elect committee member Jenkins to the position of chair? Yay or nay?
And I'm not exactly what I have to do. Do I have to vote for the person that's been nominated?
So, ma'am, we've already gone through the process of voting on the ones who have been nominated. And committee member Jenkins has won that portion of that process. So now there's a motion on the floor to elect committee member Jenkins as the chair officially. And so that would either be a yay or nay vote.
Ms. Mills, so they're asking now if you agree or disagree, if you agree with Mr. Jenkins being nominated as chairs, or if you disagree.
I have to vote. I don't, I'm not a person that I think that what you do is infinitely informed, and you know the person that you are And I don't know her.
It's me, Gloria. It's Arizona.
It's for Mr. Arizona Jenkins.
Committee Member Mills, if I may, the election has been completed. Committee Member Jenkins has won the election for the position of chair. So at this point, it is just a motion on the floor with a yay or nay vote to whether you agree or disagree with putting him in that position of the chair for the committee. And again, this is for Committee Member Arizona Jenkins.
I can vote for myself. Is that, I'm just trying to understanding what we're doing here.
I understand. So we've already gone through and voted and done the election process of that. Now we're doing the securing of the election process. So there's an active motion on the floor for Committee Member Jenkins, who won the election, to be put in the position of chair. And again, that would be with either a yay vote saying that you agree with putting him in that position, or a nay vote saying that you disagree with putting him in that position.
Ms. Mills, if I can explain, what Danielle is saying is we did take names, and the majority of the board voted for Arizona Jenkins. So right now we're just looking to ratify it. So they're asking you if you say yes or no to naming Mr. Jenkins as board chair. So they're asking for a yes or a no from you. Ms. Millen, you can also abstain if you wish not to vote. You can do that as well. So you could say yes for Mr. Arizona, no, or you could abstain from voting.
I know Arizona. I know he's a good person. If he wants to be a chair, I will nominate him for him.
So Committee Member Mills, we will put that down as a yay vote, and we appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank
yay.
you so much.
Okay.
Emily, this is Karen Levy. Am I able to vote by phone, or do I need to be there?
Yes, ma'am, you can vote by phone.
Okay, so yay for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Levy is a yay.
Committee Member Pancho?
Yay.
Committee Member Velasquez?
Yay.
Committee Member Williams?
Hey, yay.
Committee Member Wazorek?
And the motion does pass. So thank you very much, committee. Now we will move on to the position of vice chair. We will start with nominations. Committee Member Velasquez has self-nominated herself. Are there any other nominations from the floor for vice chair? Oh, I apologize. Yes, Committee Member Wazorek has also nominated herself, self-nominated herself as well. So is there any other nominations other than Committee Member Velasquez and Committee Member Wazorek?
I'd like to nominate Ms. Mills.
Yes, ma'am. Any further nominations? Okay, so we will again go committee member to each committee member. And again, the nominations are Committee Member Mills, Committee Member Velasquez, and Committee Member Wazorek. Committee Member Jenkins?
Gloria.
Committee Member Velasquez? Committee Member Levy? Committee Member Levy?
I'm sorry. Could you tell me who the folks are again?
Sure. The nominations that we have currently are for Committee Member Gloria Mills, Committee Member Rosa Velasquez, and Committee Member Maddie Wazorek.
Maddie Resort.
Thank you. Committee Member Mills?
I can vote for myself?
Yes, you may, ma'am.
Yes, yay.
Committee Member Poncho?
Resort.
Committee Member Wazorek?
Self.
Committee Member Williams?
Mills.
So based on the tally, Committee Member Wazorek has the overwhelming majority from that voting. So is there a motion to elect Committee Member Wazorek to the position of Vice Chair?
I make that motion.
I second it.
Okay, staff, if we could take a vote. Thank you.
Committee Member Jenkins,
Yay.
Committee Member Levy,
Yes.
Committee Member Lebu, Committee Member Mills,
Are we voting
Yes, ma'am.
for,
For yourself.
okay,
A yay or a nay for Ms. Wazorek?
yes, yay.
Thank you.
Committee Member Pancho,
Yay.
Committee Member Velasquez,
Yay.
Committee Member Williams,
Yay.
Committee Member Wazorek.
Yay.
The motion passes.
Congratulations to the new officers.
Mr. Jenkins, would you like to join us up here? Right.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne, you next. Dwayne.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dwayne Brown. I'm the Basic Transit Infrastructure Program Manager, and I will be giving you a Basic Transit Infrastructure update for today. I'll move forward. As of this quarter, the past quarter, we have completed one project. Well, let me rephrase that because we just finished a project today, and we have a couple other projects that's ongoing, but so we've completed two projects. We have one project in construction, two projects in pre-construction, two projects in permitting. We got 5 projects in design, and we have 49 shelters that have been completed. But that number, when I created this slide, I didn't have. Since I've done this slide, I've also installed 3 new shelters, so we're up to 52 shelters that we've installed. All right. All right. So the project that we completed was Spruce at Clark. There, it's right now. It's in the process of being a shelter is being placed onto that that site. The landing pad there was a little bit, it was out of compliance, and so we had to get that into compliance, and we removed that old shelter, and we're putting a brand new shelter on there. The project that we just completed today is the Tampa Bay Boulevard at HCC. We have a brand new shelter on that bus bay expansion, what we did there, and we're going to open that up as soon as the asphalt cures and we're able to get the striping down there. So that's going to be open here within the next couple of days. And we have 2 projects that's in pre-construction. We have Falkenberg Road at MLK, and we also have Rolette Park at Mulberry Street. Those projects are with the contractors right now, and we are in the process of getting those started. So they'll be started probably within the next couple of weeks. So again, since I created this slide, 34th at Lake has now come out of permitting, and we're in the process of putting that one in with the contractor as well. So that one will be getting started here probably within the next couple of weeks as well. Himes at Humphreys is still in permitting. We have 5 projects that's in design right now. Columbus Drive at Florida Avenue. That project just came back from the engineer, and we're getting ready to put that over into permitting along with Armenian Waters. Those 2 projects just came back from the engineers, and so we're getting ready to push those forward. 21st Avenue at 43rd, 21st Avenue at 40th, and Memorial Highway at George are the ones that are in design right now. So again, a little bit skewed here, but we have total 67 shelters. Right now, we have 52 shelters that have been installed. Well, I know it says 49, but again, as of this morning, we had some shelters installed. So just an update on that. And so that's all that I had for this one, but I did want to address the comments for 4th Avenue at 19th. We know about those stops down there. They are on our project list to get them corrected. I will do my best to get those updated as quickly as possible. But I am aware about the issues that we have along that route. That route was the 8 used to come right down 7th, and then they switched the route because the bus couldn't get through 7, so they switched it and put it on the 4th, and we had to adjust some of the bus stops that were there. And we know that there are issues there, and we're going to address those issues.
While you looking on that, is there somewhere he should be able to get picked up safely?
Yes, we can. So what I do is I will work with our service planning and our operations to make sure that we get the buses in the correct spots, as not to cause for safety issues first, and then make sure that it doesn't how it's going to affect operations.
Because I know it's going to take a minute to get it done, no? But you have to go to work, though. You have to make sure you can get to work safely and get off.
Yes, sir. So I'll go out there again, and I know I have it on my list of projects, but I will go back out there and I'll take a look at it and see exactly what's going on with it and try to figure out what we can do to address it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if there's somewhere he should be, that where he won't be in the deep.
In the meantime, if you guys can evaluate if
Yes.
there's a different location.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will do an evaluation of the stop to make sure that is safe.
You let him know.
Yes, yes, sir. You're welcome.
But
Okay. Mr. Brown, thank you so much for the update and for getting the additional 3 shelters up during the time we had our committee meeting. So I appreciate that. There's lots of work going into what is being done from the project standpoint.
Yes,
my question, I'll send it back to the person that the one that spoke earlier. Is there a reconciliation of stops that we go back and evaluate in this construction process? Or is there, how do we go back and say, okay, we are putting in new ones, but here are those that may have some issues or concerns?
So, ma'am, just so for everybody in the brief, I briefed this before at the board, and I want to brief it to you guys again here now. The project management, the BTI program manager, myself, and along with the people from the PMO group, we did a bus stop survey of all 2,257 stops. We went all across the county, and we looked at the stops, and we from that survey of the stops, we looked at each one and said, okay, these ones need maintenance. These ones need trash cans. This one needs this. This one needs that. So we evaluated every single one of them. And at the end of the day, we came out, there was about 390 stops that we know that we need to do some ADA work to. Okay. And so as far as so our goal to get those stops done is all of them need ADA work. And so we just kind of roll along and try to figure out, where I have the money to fix it, and what can I do immediately, and what can I do. So it's a process of it's a big process that we go through on how stops are selected, and it goes by safety first, and then it goes by what needs to be done there, how much is it going to cost us to do it, how quickly can we do it, what it takes. And so the process, it goes down, and then we kind of that's how we kind of roll through which projects come first. If there's a project that has come up, like at this meeting, of course we want to look at those and make sure that we're addressing the needs. But we, again, like I said, we have 390 stops that all have that are not, they are all weigh the same to us. It's not, if it's an ADA issue that we have there, it weighs the same as any other stop that has an ADA issue. Only reason why like I said, we have to look at how much we have in our budget to fix it, where it is, and that kind of determines sometimes what the budget is for it as well, because we get money from different places. But we try to address them all in timely fashion.
Thank you so much for explaining that process.
You're welcome.
And I think that would help in understanding that your evaluation of 2,000 plus stops, and then what you saw out of that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any other questions?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
I saw an email that I received regarding the yellow cab that are coming back, and I wonder if anyone knows anything about this, because I know the yellow cab were working and they were stopped, and I would like to know if this is a work for people who can use this yellow cabs for rides. Anybody
Would you like me to respond?
Yes, because that's not my expertise.
Hi,
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Mills. This is Kemley. Yes, Yellow Cab has been our contractor for several years, so they did not go away. But we did send a recent communication that because we have a larger number of trips, if you guys remember a few years ago, the most trips we did in a day was 500, and now we're averaging 800 a day. So we have had to use Yellow Cab, and we're working with, they're partnering with us. We are sending them a group of trips daily. So that was just, the email was to let everybody know, because some customers were confused waiting for a van, and a Yellow Cab would show up and they were refusing to get on the Yellow Cab. So we did it with the intention, and I was going to mention it, so thank you for bringing it up. I was going to mention it to all of you in case you get comments, that some of the trips that they're booking through the HART call center, a Yellow Cab might show up, because we have realized and we acknowledge that we are running a little bit late, and sometimes a lot of late with some of our trips. So we are working with Yellow Cab to streamline that and get our customers picked up quicker. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a comment related to the LCAP. Do you want me to hold it for roundtable, or is now appropriate?
If you could, if you don't mind, so Mr. Dwayne can finish his presentation. Thank you.
I have one more last question or comment for you. The Martin Luther King birthday around 32, and all the people that go down Martin Luther King. Right there by St. Joseph Hospital, by the Boston Market. I don't know if this is for you or for you. I don't know which one it is. But the bus stop is being blocked because there's a piece of wood there at the edge of the way you got to turn the wood, you got to get out. So there's no room to move your chair around to get on the bus. So the bus has to move up in the middle of the parking.
Do you know what's obstructing it? Is it something?
It's a piece of block wood.
Was that because of the construction? No?
No, that's been there for years.
There's something that's blocking the bus stop on MLK at right in front of St. Joseph Hospital near the Boston Market. Is what you're saying, right?
Right in front of Boston Market. You know that bus stop right there?
I know. I can see what you're talking about in my head. I have to go out there and look at it. I have to go that way anyway because I have a project that's going on over there. I'm getting ready to go that way right now because I have a project that's going on that they need me at. But I will take a look at it and I will get back with you.
The only reason I'm there because I just got out of the hospital. I had to get on the bus to go home.
Okay.
But that piece of wood is at the edge of the sidewalk. So when you're going on the sidewalk, you got to try and get your chair out and go out the ramp. But I had to go down about half.
So it's on the sidewalk. Is it on the sidewalk near the landing pad, or is it on the ramp?
It's right there where the bus let down.
Okay, so it's at the
There's
pad.
no room to turn the chair because the piece of wood blocking me.
Okay, I'll go out there and take a look at it.
Yeah, it may be a city thing.
Yeah, thank you, Arizona. I'm also taking notes too, and I'll research it as well.
Because the whole sidewalk, I mean, from there maybe all the way down the whole sidewalk leaning to one side. So if you're in a wheelchair, you are here leaning, trying to hold yourself up. So it may be either one of you guys. Thank you, man.
All right.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go back up. We forgot to do the approval of the minutes. Anybody have any questions about the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. Any second? I second. All in favor?
Aye.
And then, so,
Aye.
what was that? Okay. They've been a book. Thank you. Mr. Jean,
You're okay, Daniel? You're okay with the vote? Yes. Okay.
Yes, the motion passes.
So now you got this with Jose Garcia. So you can just read it.
the petition on May 23rd, 7 changes, Mrs. G. Perez. Is he here?
Yes, Mr. Garcia is here to present. Right? He looked a little surprised. Yes, we updated it this morning. Mr. Garcia is presenting in place of Mr. Omar.
Hello. Sorry. Good afternoon. Yeah, I was the, how you call that, the runner-up, the backup to the backup. So you're stuck with me. Just a quick update on the May 2023 service changes that went live this past Sunday. I think, well, first, the reason we're doing this is because we've heard over and over again, study after study, plan after plan, surveys, that the community wants frequency. So we try to move some things around to make that happen. High level, in terms of HART Plus or paratransit, there are no changes. Any pre-existing paratransit trip that people do today, that will not be affected at all because the footprint of the bus network didn't change. I'll run through this because it's I don't want to it's a very long presentation and it's just like a brief update, but we can always go back if there are any details. High level, the main things of the change were 3 routes are every 30 minutes now. They used to be hourly. This is weekdays 6 to 6, with the exception of Route 19, South Tampa, Tampa General, Cleveland Platte. That one is only during peaks, is every 30 minutes. There are 3 HeartFlex services. It is a slow evolution. So we are transitioning towards a more flexible model where wait times will be reduced. But right now, baby steps, if you will. For the most part, everything else remained the same. There are no service hour cuts. Like if you used to travel up to 11 p.m., that hasn't changed. No service was eliminated. So this is the route by route. Again, I don't want to bore you with it. It is Route 1, it was just some tweaks in the frequency after 6 p.m. The 5, we talked about the 30 minutes, 6 to 6 on weekdays. This Route 6 also tweaks at the fringes of the day. Route 7 goes to West Tampa now. Oh, sorry. That was the other big highlight. I apologize. West Tampa Transfer Center was reopened this past Sunday. So we have Route 7 terminates there now. And routes 32 and 45 run on Himes now so that they can serve that transfer center curbside. 12, there are many tweaks in the fringes, so I'll fly through those. Route 12, Route 16. HeartFlex Port Tampa is one of the flex conversions I mentioned. So it's essentially the Route 17, but it just sweeps through. There are hourly departures from Britton Plaza, similar schedule as before, but it's not tied to a time anywhere else. So if it's running early, it can keep going. So the expectation is that during low traffic, the van will be able to loop around more than once, reducing wait times. And again, as I mentioned, this is the first mini step in a series of baby steps. It's new for the community, it's new for us, but I think it's a step in the right direction. South Tampa, we talked about the higher frequency on the peaks. Route 32, higher frequency, 6 to 6. And it's going to go in Himes now to serve West Tampa Transfer Center. Route 33, the UATC to hospital part remains unchanged. And the UATC to Hidden River part is going to be a flex, so similar to Port Tampa. Similar description. I'm happy to elaborate if you have questions. Route 34, tweaks in the fringes, same with 39, 42, 45, plus the Himes Avenue reopening of West Tampa transfer. Route 46 becomes a HeartFlex Brandon. There was a pre-existing HeartFlex Brandon, not to be confused. We are hoping to eventually build up to that, but again, bear with us, please. Route 400 tweaks. Route 360, it's dropping you off closer to the mall. There are some details we need to flesh out before we can drive into mall property with that route. In the meantime, the best we can do is get you closer to the entrance than just walk all the way up from Causeway. HART Flex South County, no changes. The only is the addition of the Publix on US 41, which has been by popular request. And that was my spiel. Thank you, and happy to take any questions.
Is there any questions for Mr. Gozak?
I have a question. Thank you. Mr. Garcia, this is really good. I like the overview, and thanks for sharing the specifics. We can review this later as well. It talks about percentages of savings. I'm just curious, how are we saving, but we are not really changing the route, and we're doing more, giving it more frequency?
Well, so that's a great question. So it is a bit of balancing out. So we have, and if I may, I'll use some examples. Route 1, that tweaking of the frequencies in the 1, 6, 34, 400, and the 30-minute routes, that saved us some. So that little trimming in the edges without cutting service. It's just, it's just moving schedules around for the most part. So that saves us, but then the increase in frequency is an expense. Mm-hmm. So it offsets the savings, but the net is a net saving. It is not, it's not as, I don't have the full financials here. I forget the exact number, but it is not significant compared to our budget this year because we're already past the halfway mark. The fiscal year will end in September. So the expectation is for a full year, which the first one would be fiscal 24, we'll realize those savings. It's in the 6-digit ballpark, but I can't remember the exact number. So you're right. The 5, for example, we added $330,000 for the fiscal 23 operating expense for that route, but that's not on top of our pre-existing expenses. It is, we saved it from others and we put it towards that.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Have our community members been notified of the changes of the accordingly as far as the schedules and such? I know you have one bus away.
Yeah, we have deployed all channels available. The latest or the earliest this was released to the public was late January. There was a hearing. And about a month ago, we started with the, I guess marketing is the right word for it, website, social media, all the apps are updated. So Google, one bus away. There were notices on the buses. I can't think of anything else, but all the channels we have to communicate with customers, we did blast this out.
I noticed that the Route 15 and the Route 32 has not changed much.
No, so Route 15 remained unchanged completely, like nothing, not even like schedule adjustments. Because I'll use this opportunity to clarify that we do adjust schedules 3 to 4 times a year. The intent is to adjust to traffic. So this is the summer bid. So this summer schedule, the run times are shorter because traffic is allegedly less heavy. For August, we need to ramp it up because we need to account for more delays when schools come back and so on. So we do that constantly. Whenever you hear service change or schedule update, it's not always significant. Sometimes it's just a little bit. So Route 15, no, nothing, not even that. So if you have a schedule, the little brochure from back 2 months ago, that's still current. Route 32, it is twofold, the changes. So we have the frequency increase, which is, if you will, the crown jewel of the service change, was to make service every 30 minutes, 6 to 6 on weekdays. For Route 32, so now you have 30 minutes from Net Park all the way down to MLK, Ray J, International Plaza, and the airport, every 30 minutes, 6 to 6 on weekdays. And then the other change is that instead of taking TheMay, it's taken Himes, which not only for West Tampa Transfer Center, but also allows us to serve that area better. That part of TheMay is filled with ditches and turn lanes and 65-mile-an-hour traffic, so it is easier for us, for our customers and for our service to go on Himes.
So the one by Boy Scout, the Boy Scout and by the mall, and there's no more. That they do doesn't change.
No, Boy Scout, you said? International Plaza?
Boy
Yeah, no,
Scout,
that area remains unchanged in terms of bus. There is a project, I won't spoil it, it's Dwayne's little baby, but it's currently unfunded. We're trying to put more stops there because there are big gaps between stops.
Oh, well, I was hoping 14, but it's okay.
Route 14?
No, I was hoping for a little more time, but it's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do have another question, and you kind of spoke into this about some of the notifications, but a moment ago you actually just changed that some of the bus stops were moved from one location to a different location. I'm just concerned about people who have visual disabilities to memorize their route of travel, the path. Are there any concerted efforts to outreach to agencies like the Lighthouse or Division of Blind Services so that they can notify their consumers about any of those route changes as well?
That's a great question. I couldn't speak to it. I would need to check with our community engagement and marketing team, but I would think if it's not happening, it's going to start happening by 4 p.m. today. But yeah, we did signalize all those stops, but that doesn't help the visually impaired community. So that's a great point. Thank you for bringing it up.
The National Federation of the Blind, our local chapter, they should probably be informed as well.
Okay. You mentioned two others.
Tampa Lighthouse for the Blind.
Yeah.
Division of Blind Services, and the National Federation of the Blind.
Okay.
And ASAP is here as well.
Sorry?
ASAP, Miriam's group.
Oh, ASAP? Okay. Thank you.
Any other comment?
Can we add the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation to that list as well? Because that would help just the community in general.
Yeah, you said occupational rehab?
Vocational rehabilitation.
Vocational. Okay. Noted. Thank you.
And no. Good.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
No, the chair's report now. Okay. Thank you all for letting me be the new chair. Football. And I want to thank the Ms. Dardell is in the building. Ms. Dardell, can you hear me? Ms. Dardell.
Miss Idell, can you hear him?
I want to thank you for your work you did here on this board. We want to thank you for being on the board.
You'll see me around.
Yes, I know it.
I have a gift for her. Believe me, I haven't.
Can you roll up to the front?
I use it all the time.
Can you come up to the front?
I'll ask you. Come on, Miss Idell. Arizona and the whole board is thanking you for your years of service and your feedback. I know myself that you are going to keep on communicating with us because you are so valuable to all the customer service team and all the board. So we wanted to present to you this crystal bus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's all give a hand clap. You want to say anything before you go?
Would you like to say anything?
this will go on my mantle as one of my prized possessions. But believe you me, you're going to see me probably come to these meetings, and if I have anything to say, I know who to contact here. And thank you for this. Thank you for all the years that, I was able to come here. And good luck to everybody that's here. And have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more. There you go. Thank you. Okay. I only got one thing to say on the chair report. I was in a meeting yesterday with the MPO, and they were talking about the HART budget and or they buying the buses and the vans, and I had to get the money in the budget for only for the buses or is it for the van as well? And he told me that it's up to HART to do whatever they do with it. Okay. The reason I asked that question was the vans they were riding on are tearing up. You got the lift not working, you got AC leaking, AC leaking on me the other day. I got wet from the AC leaking on my arm. And then the diner box not working, the driver can't see who they're supposed to pick up. So, and then the phone's not working either, so they had to use their phone to call the operator to find out who they had to pick up. And whoever is doing the schedules for to pick up. I understand that we have more people that we pick up than we used to pick up. But let's use common sense. Let's try not to have these people on this van over an hour and a half, 2 hours. Because I almost didn't make it today. If I would have told that driver I had to come here, I would have been in Ruskin. I would have been Riverview, Palmer, and then here. So I asked him to call the dispatch and tell him I had to go to the ADA meeting. He picked me up from my doctor's appointment in Benton. So I could see why he did that. But it's still a long time to be on the bank. Mm-hmm. The other day, I got picked up from my home, and I was going to 601 East Kennedy, which is 5 minutes down the road from my house. I had to go all the way to St. Joseph, and then over there by the type of what we had the 88 television, and then back to Atlanta. I had to be at me at 9 o'clock. He came to get me at 8:50. I mean, I missed 30 minutes of the meeting. Mm-hmm. And I understand that the driver was only doing what he told her to do. But if you go to Miami, if you go to Orlando, the people, they give the drivers the together. And the time when they have to get picked up. And they let the driver never get there as long as it's in their time to get picked up. But here, we don't do that. But you gotta realize, the drivers been on the road, they know their way around. So people that sit behind the desk, they may not drive like that. They may drive from home to work, get back home. But if you're not a driver going around town, you're not gonna understand what drivers are going to. Then that the computer generates the schedule. Again, the computer generates the schedule, but they also have schedules that you can use complement. If you know that's too far, don't put the same person on that van. Because you gotta make the people who've been on dialysis for a couple of hours, they cold, they hungry, they wanna go home. But they can't go home because they gotta ride all over town. So that's my opinion. I think you should let the driver help with get them together and let them try to figure it out. If they can trick it a little bit, let them do it. I know you get the ball together, right? But if the driver says, I'm on this side, and I got to drop this person off on this side, I have another pickup in 10 minutes on the thing like, why would you have that go out the area to come back in the same area? And let them niggas in. But if you need me help you, I will help you with that. But that's good. That's all I have right now. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Boy, Kimberly.
Miss Green,
Yes, ma'am.
do you still have something to do with the, Heart Plus?
Yes, I'm over the call center, so we do the Heart Plus booking, and I work hand to hand with Miss Sherna Wilburn, who oversees van operations. So I'm still involved.
If I have a quarter to 5 to, that might be too late. I don't know.
For today,
Today,
Yeah, we have another meeting.
Catherine, can you check on her trip? Thank you.
You can take on my too.
We'll check on your trip, Miss Mills. Okay? Or did you need to leave now?
all right, thank you.
Yeah, we'll check on the trip. So thank you, Mr. Jenkins. As you guys know, Ms. Seidel stepped down, so that leaves an opening in the board. So we wanted to announce today that we will be accepting nominations for a new board member. And typically what we do is we announce it in this board. There is one application in the packet today. Tomorrow I will be emailing it, so you guys, so all of you have it electronically. If you need some printed ones, we can get them to you as well. Just please reach out to me or to the email you last received about this meeting, and we can get you some printed copies as well. In the next few days, we will be announcing it in our website and social media as well, and we'll be pulling out some announcements. We have a great contact list as well, the Alliance and all the people who have signed up to get communications from HART. They will get it via email as well. So we will, we have a deadline in the packet, which should be a month from now. Once we receive it, we will do our best to get it to you a few weeks before the next meeting, so you can review all the applications, and we will be asking you next meeting if you can vote and select one new member. So if you have any questions about the election of the new member, I will take any questions. Thank you.
All right, what we got?
I guess that's me too, because I'm not here. And next was the Heart Plus update. Mr. Alvarado couldn't be with us today, so he prepared it and asked me to read it. So I do have the Heart Plus and Yellow Cab update that he normally provides, and I will read that for you. HART has increased the use of yellow cab to complement paratransit trips to assist with late pickups. We met with yellow cab leadership and have come up with a plan that will alleviate high volumes of peak times on peak days. In April, we provided 15,279 paratransit trips with on-time performance for the pickup window of 74% and 90% for appointment times. We added, also a new bit of news is that we added 7 new drivers to the pool. HART Plus average weekday trips count is 790, average Saturday trip count is 300, and average Sunday trips count is 212. In the month of April, Yellow Cab performed 1,980 trips with 634 that were wheelchair users. Year-to-date, Yellow Cab service has delivered more than 450,000 trips. And penalties were imposed for 3.35% of trips that were late. And that would be the report for Yellow Cab and paratransit. Any questions? I will try to answer.
I do have a question. Do you have any statistics about number of individuals who have service animals who've been attempting to access Yellow Cab? I've heard concerns from community members that sometimes the Yellow Cab doesn't appear, they're denying the services and such.
I don't know if we have that data available, but I'll definitely look into it and I'll bring you an update for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if they have a living dog, they have to ride.
I apologize, Arizona. What did you say?
If they have a service dog, then that's the law. They have to ride.
Mm-hmm.
They have to live them right. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
No, let's say we call you and then a Yellow Cab comes to pick it up. Now, we have the ticket, and then do we pay always and they'll come?
If you book the trip with HART Plus and we're sending a Yellow Cab because of the overflow, you would pay either $4 or with a coupon, and we will pay the rest no matter the distance. So when you call Yellow Cab directly, what he's referring to is when you book a trip with Yellow Cab directly, you pay the $4, and then there's the overage you pay if you're traveling. But if we are the ones that send it to Yellow Cab, we are paying the difference. We cover the difference.
Now we have the new thing on the phone. Do we show them the app?
That I have to speak with Yellow Cab a little bit. I don't think they're accepting it, not quite yet. And I know there was a little bit of confusion with them, so I can definitely give an update in the next meeting. Right now, they aren't accepting the app. But we will meet with them to see if there's a possibility that we could do something like that.
Because if we don't have it, we have it on our phone.
Yeah.
And we could just show it. That should be the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Or do they have to get the number off it?
Yes, and I know if you're not expecting Yellow Cab and it was suddenly they show up, it could be a bit of an inconvenience. But that is something we were talking about this week that we are going to meet with Yellow Cab and discuss with them to see if that is a possibility. So I can't tell you right now, but I'll give you a follow-up in the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also had some updates from the previous meetings that have brought up. So I know one of the items, and I apologize, I might not know exactly who brought it up, but one of the items that was brought up was marketing material not accessible to customers with disabilities. So they have installed flyer holders in all the vans, and I know it sounds silly, but I was super excited about it because we do have that. In the past, we have put flyers in the vans, and sometimes if we put them in the chair, the first person that rides takes it, and then nobody else gets to see the announcement. So they did, maintenance did tell us a couple of weeks ago that they finished the installation, and there is a couple of holders on the vans. So I believe today's meeting was placed in there a couple of weeks ago, and we will continue adding the announcement, and any announcement that we might put in the buses, we're going to put it on the vans as well. I see Ms. Seidel says she might have not seen it. But we will follow up, and I think Ms. Seidel actually was the one that brought this one up several times. So I'll double check, but I was told last week that they installed it in all the vans, and they were they just did that. The next item was there was a suggestion for a secret shopper on Yellow Cab. And Mr. Alvarado did inform me that they are looking into doing that beginning in the fourth quarter of this year. So possibly next meeting we can give you a few more details of how they're going to do that in a better timeline. But he did say that we're working on doing some type of secret shopper.
Kimberly, if I can interrupt,
Yes.
I would really hope that we would include people who have service animals in that. Because I think there's a great concern there.
Sure. Thank you. The next item was, I believe, Ms. Wizarek, about somebody who attended a Heart Plus interview, and it was lunchtime, and there was nobody in the customer service window to kind of give them a status on when they will be seen for the Heart Plus interview. Mr. Alvarado did follow up on this, and he spoke to the eligibility team. And they are going to be moving the interview, so there's none at the lunchtime. What was happening or happens on occasions is if customers are doing a trip, we recommend that they get there early. And when they get there early, if the interview ladies are still going to see them, but if the person in the window is having lunch, then there was no communication, and understandably the customer could get a little nervous, not knowing what's going on. But they did move the interview times, and they're going to avoid the lunch times.
Thank you. I recently went to a Heart Plus interview, and it worked out very well recently. So
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the reports that I had so far, but I definitely took a lot of notes this time, and we will review the minutes, and we will have an update for you guys in the next meeting on all the concerns that were brought up today.
Let me add one thing on that list. The other day when we picked up a lady from an interview here, and the lady was in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank in the back. She is a little wide. I'm in the wheelchair, so the driver had to, and her chair is heavy. Because she's a little heavy. So the driver having a hard time pushing the jet. I think you had it back a little bit. Can we provide those drivers who will have to push chairs or help those people get on and off the van if some kind of base or recommend where they can go get one? Because we don't want to be reliable for a driver getting hurt.
I will definitely follow up with the paratransit team to see what they can provide to them, and I'll get with you for some dates so we can investigate exactly what the issue was. And
was the jet was having and the lady trying to push someone like me that's a little heavy, that to get on the van, but the jet's wide and trying to get it on the lift. So you gotta try to squeeze me in between this chair and between my chair. So I told her to pick me off and let her get on it and then put me back on. So if they know who's getting off first, put that person in the back. And then whoever getting on that can bring around the money. That way the dog don't have to take it back off and back on. That's a lot of time.
yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of pushing and pulling on your muscles. A lot of the drivers are ladies. They are ladies. There are more ladies drivers than men. So we don't want them to get hurt.
And I appreciate you looking out for the drivers. You've always been great about that. I'll definitely get with you to get the date and time. Sometimes, we get situations with the ramp or the straps, And sometimes it's a matter of doing some training, but in this case, there might be something we can do with letting them know who's dropping off first and who last so that we can avoid all those movements. I appreciate it, and I'll follow up with you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to open.
Yes, but Miss Maddie needs to speak first because she has to go.
Oh, wait. Mary?
Yes, thank you so much. I wanted to follow up on the yellow cab. I spoke with one of the clients that I work with that utilizes HART Plus quite often, and she is visually impaired. And recently, they, with the new changes and the increased ridership and using yellow cab, I guess historically they would call the individual and let them know it was going to be a yellow cab that was going to be arriving. But in the most recent situations, they, I guess, have maybe missed that call. And so it sounds like you guys also had some experiences with this as well with individuals. But someone that's visually impaired, if they see a yellow cab come up, they're expecting the bus, and if they don't have a call ahead of time, that can be very nerve-wracking for them. And so I think if they can ensure that those phone calls are being made, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, and we were doing at the beginning, because nobody was used to it, we were doing a few phone calls. We can look into revisiting that, but that's one of the reasons I did send out the email, and we sent the communication to all the HART Plus customers to let them know there might be a yellow cab. Sometimes we have situations where it's going on so quickly, and we have all the reps, and we've also have been experiencing a few issues with the phone, with some drop calls that I know I spoke to some of you about it who brought it up. So sometimes we have all the reps involved in taking calls and booking trips, and those are the same reps that I would normally pull to do the phone calls for yellow cab. So sometimes we're not able to call everybody, so that's why we were going to do some heavy marketing and let everybody know. And we started with the flyer, and I sent the email for those who couldn't, the visually impaired who can't see it. But I was also going to do a few phone calls just to let everybody know that it might be a moment's notice and to expect both vehicles. We're also experiencing a situation where Yellow Cab actually tries to call the customers, and we're having, believe it or not, a big number of customers who do not take calls from strangers if they're not under contact list. So they are calling, and Yellow Cab is looking for them, and they can't find each other. The customer doesn't answer the phone or move to a different location. So that's created a couple of issues. So we are trying to work with the customers and them to kind of try to let them know as well, to expect any of the two vehicles, just in case, we have to do some last minute moves.
Okay, thank you. I have one other thing I wanted to ask about. As far as the hybrid meetings with online today, I looked just to see how the community would go on the website to be able to be a part of this meeting. I know we do have some community members in the audience today, but just looking at the participants on our screen, it's 11, and most of those are the people sitting in the seats right here. So what is the best way for community members to be able to join this meeting hybrid, and how can we make that as visible as possible on the website?
I'm sorry, I missed part of your question. Did you say community members or the board members?
Community members.
Okay. We are, I'm hoping with the new flyers that we're starting to put and let everybody know about the meeting, the public can join us through the WebEx. We are doing it live, right, Danielle, still?
So the meeting is live streamed onto YouTube, but as far as joining the actual WebEx, that is typically just done with a public comment where they give a comment. They're limited to 3 minutes, and then the committee can then perform their business.
Okay, and you said it's live on YouTube.
It is streaming live on YouTube, assuming no technical difficulties. Sure. But the meetings are streamed live on YouTube on the Go Heart page of YouTube.
Okay, and so that's not on the website, like the HART website? Because I tried to go on the HART website as a community member to see how to join today, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yes, no, I apologize. There should be a link somewhere on that website, website, but it will take you to our YouTube, and that is where it is live streamed at, is on YouTube, on our channel.
On the website, we do have the meeting announced where all the public and the board meetings and all the committee
That's the
meetings
page
are
I was
announced.
on.
Yeah, the meeting should be, is advertised there, and it gives instructions on how to sign up to do public comment, either in person or by web. And our website, you're right, it does have the link to YouTube, but it doesn't say click here for the meeting.
Yeah, I would make that more clear, and that way community members know how to
we
get on
can
there.
work on the announcement of the meeting where we have all the meetings to say, watch it via YouTube.
Okay.
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
the suggestion.
Yeah, anybody else round table? Okay.
Yes, of course, I always have to speak. So I just wanted to share a couple of concerns that have been brought to my attention by some community members, actually also a person who's an employee with the City of Tampa. He raised the concern that at the trolley stop at Fort Brooke, that as a person who uses a wheelchair, he's been instructed that he has to be there 15 minutes before the trolley arrives, the streetcar arrives. He actually was there well in advance of the streetcar departing, and in 2 instances was told by the driver of the streetcar that because he wasn't there prior to the streetcar arriving, that they weren't going to board him.
I mean, let me stop you there. I live in Newport. The trolley driver, they had to pull that thing down the court and line it up. You know, and it doesn't matter if you get there right when they pull up. That's their job. That's what they get paid for. So, for me, I have done it many times. I have got there right when they have pulled up, and they never told me I had to wait. They either back it up, or I'll get in on the other side to get in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a difficulty because that's actually at the end of the streetcar line, but he did report 2 instances. I have given him HART's contact information to report the concern. But I just wanted to share that. Hopefully it's going to be resolved. The other concern that has been brought to my attention is the call drops. I did receive a call from a community member who had said, she was trying multiple times, and each time after the message, it wouldn't go through. It was dropped. And then, of course, Marion was able to already speak about this, about the shared concerns about a non-trained service animal being allowed on the transit. I know as a city of Tampa, we also have some concerns about non-trained animals being allowed in areas, especially for the risk of the community members. I have learned in the past that, if a service animal is actually attacked, these service animals many times have to be retired after an attack by another animal. And these are animals that have been $20,000 have been invested in them. So I think, as due diligence as much as possible to try and do the screening can be really helpful for not only, people with service animals, but also for the general public as well.
Okay, I appreciate the feedback. In regards to the most recent one with the service animal and the possible attack, I do understand that the customer didn't ride once it started, but we're still investigating that one. The phone calls, possibly like 3 weeks ago, we did have some issues with some phone certificates that they were in the middle of being renewed, so there were a few days there, and I believe it started a Sunday, so it created a bigger problem of getting somebody in the phone company to fix it, but that portion was resolved. We still are experiencing some dropped calls this and last week. IT is investigating it really strongly with me. We're keeping really strong logs. Unfortunately, they're not finding anything, and they are telling me, but I'm trying to confirm with them, that there's some phone carriers that for the last month have been actually problems with cell phones. So certain phone carriers, the calls are dropping, and so we're having to contact some of those customers to see what their carriers are, to see if it's their actual phone carrier or our system. Many of the calls our customers are saying, I can't call from my cell phone, but I used my son's cell phone and the call didn't go through, which is telling us, there's a big investigation going on, but which is telling us it might not be our side, but something is definitely going on because, there's always going to be drop calls once a week, but when it's several, there is a concern. So we are looking into it. There was set up a second phone line that we have communicated with our customers. And they're pretty good also about calling our control center, with their cancellations. But they've been reaching out. Customers have been reaching out to Catherine, to me, and to the paratransit team, and we are calling everybody back as soon as possible. There's been also some that reported through social media, and we've been calling them back and booking their trips. But we are aware of the situation. We're trying to work on it, and I definitely will give you guys an update as soon as possible.
Thank you.
And what is the new one? The other new one?
The second number, let me see if I have it here. If not, I will send it to you tomorrow when I have that, when I send you those applications.
My phone blocked all you.
And I do want to add, the person who reported the concern about the phone calls being dropped, she did say that HART was very responsive and actually would call her to then, provide that assistance in scheduling her trip. So, thank you.
The second phone number is 813-467-4178, but I will be sure to, when I follow up, I can send it to everybody so you have it in writing. And that is actually a different provider, so that's how, if one provider is down, we have, like, the second number is with Spectrum.
Okay.
So that helps out a little bit.
Anybody else on the table? Nope. You good, Chloe?
I'm good. I don't have anything round table.
All right.
Thank you.
Our next meeting open. Open. Any old business?
Any old business?
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned it in the update with, when I did Mr. Alvarado's update, so I covered it there. I don't know if anybody has some other old business.
Okay, our next meeting is wait.
No business.
Yeah, no business, and you can adjourn your rights.
What is our next meeting?
You can, new business, and you can.
Any new business?
I'd like to comment on the information we got earlier regarding the routes. I know Mr. Brown's going to take the information on the routes and the communication. I thought there was some conversation around the communication on the bus, as well as you brought up the committee member Pancho. You brought up the information about the dogs and the service awareness, and then there was the Rider Advisory Council. So I for myself believe that I'm on a number of chairs, and I don't think we have an ADA aspect of what part of our agenda. So I just wanted to make sure you knew, Chair, that we be taking this back from an operations and safety standpoint, as well as the streetcar feedback, and then the other in regards to the finance, the audit committee. Well, I realize we've got a lot of things happening here, and so I think it's important to make sure to have an agenda item within those separate committee meetings, so that we do have ADA in as a subject matter in those. And when to have the committees, I'm going to take the follow-ups. I know we'll continue to get them, but I think for me, I see that as an opportunity that I'm going to take accountability for on the boards that I'm on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is there anything else? Hearing none, the meeting can be adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you at the next meeting.
Right, girl. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God, your time is due.
So nice to see you again. I'm so happy that you're back.
Right.
Have a good day. Thank you. Arizona, you got the statement? You get my email? Okay, good. I'm good. I'll see you.